Good morning, everybody. I just got back from Home Depot and Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight, my favorite place to go. Now I have one grinder right here, and it got to be a pain to keep switching out these flap discs with these cutters. So what do? Buy another one. They're only 17 bucks. So now I can leave the cutoff wheel on the end of there and then use that as much as I want. So our goal for the day is to get some of this floor replaced. Now, what I want to try to do is take this and bend it at a 90 to cover inside of here. So first I got to clean all this out real good. It's not, you know what, I think I'm just going to go over it. I'm going to lap over it and try to get it like as close to this as I can, because the molding still has to fit down in there. So, and I think I'm going to try to seal that in somehow, because I'm not going to be able to get welded in there. So I think I'm going to try, wish I had some kind of panel bond. You know what I think I might use? It's going to be funny. You ready to laugh? I might use JB Weld on there. Or if I can put it in from this side, maybe that's what I'll do. This just has a little bit of a lip right here. This is nice and straight right here, but this I'd still have to cut back a little bit. Maybe I'll put the new piece down in here. I'm going to butt weld this. Butt weld that. Stick the 90 on this side of it. Fit it right in here. Then poke a couple holes. Then I could just zap it in from the other side. That's what I think I'm going to do. And around here we try to do the least amount of cutting and stuff as possible. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, since this is bad up to here, I'm going to bend that little 1" 90 right there, and I'm going to start with this corner. Okay, and I got to clean that up a little bit, clean that line up a little bit, and then this is about where the panel's going to come to. Now, I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do. That's going to work out perfect. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do about these raised ledges here. I may just take a, oh man, that is right on the lip too. I may just take a hammer and dolly and flatten those out. I know it adds more ridges or something, but I don't have the proper tools to put the bend in there that's required. Trying to think real quick if there's a way I could do that, and I really can't. So we're going to start with that one, then we're going to come to this one, and we're just going to work piece by piece, one at a time. I bought 3 of those. Last time I made the mistake of buying galvanized. These are not galvanized. 22 gauge, I got 3 of them. There's 2 stacked on that. They were like $10.86 a piece. So it could probably be done cheaper at your local shop, but I'm not going to be able to do that. I don't know where there is any around here. Now I have the new rocker panels for this, so I'm not going to worry about this section right now. And that part that's gone right there. I have the new rocker panels for that. So what I'm going to start with first is working on this. So I'm going to measure that piece out. I'm going to mark it and start cutting. This needs to be straighter, but I got my new cutoff wheels now. So wait a minute. Let me see here. See, just a little bit too far off to go that way, but we can go that way. I'm going to straighten that up. And okay, I'm going to get, see, look, fixed already. Boom. Ha, it's that simple. All right, guys, I'll get right back to you. There's the big fancy stuff, guys. Here it is. I drew a line right there. I stuck it in the vise. I started at the middle and I bent it down a little bit. Then I went to the end, bent it a little more. This end, bent it a little more. That got it roughly in the shape that we need. Then I'm going to take my Harbor Freight hammer and I'm just going to use the edge of the vise right here. Edge of the vise. I'm going to take that down and I'm going to hammer that nice and flat, nice and straight. That's it, guys. That's it. You know, I come up with a new motto for the Workerman's channel. Measure once, cut twice. No, measure twice, wastes a lot of time. Okay? Alright, now to get this edge a little sharper, we'll say, I just stuck it in the vise and you beat down on it with a hammer and it's all, you just form it by hand a little bit. So now I'm going to go, let's take this in here, test fit the piece. I think it's going to work good going on this side is how I want to do it. I'm going to put it on this side like that. I'm going to clean up that edge and then I'll just drill a couple small holes in this edge right here, about 5 or 6 small holes, and then I'll go from underneath and just weld that in. Look at that, guys, it's almost fixed already. How about that? So I'm gonna go get my hammer, straighten this up a little bit, clean this edge up a little bit, and then I'm gonna take my marker with this in place where it needs to be, and we're gonna start on spot number 2. I'm gonna put a mark on there with my big marker, and then we're gonna cut that piece out next. So this is where I'm at after trimming and trimming and trimming and trimming and fitting, trimming and fitting, trimming and fitting. Well, you get the idea. So what I'm gonna do is, I got this pretty close here. I'm gonna just bend that lip back over. This is flush right here. Whoops, it helps if I point the camera at it. So what I'll end up doing is pulling this up to where it goes. Put a tack in there. I'm gonna pop a couple holes in here, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 holes in here so that I can weld it to this from the underneath. And I'm gonna finally tap this over just a little bit so it's just touching right there. Got a little carried away in one spot over there, but I think I can manage that. I'm just gonna have to go slow and careful with welding it in. But this is well, pretty flush right there. I gotta fit that a little better, but everything's going pretty good. Not really sure if that's supposed to be up to match this or if that's supposed to have the bow in it. So what I'll do is I'll get that where I know it matches and test fit. You can barely see daylight through there, so I'm just gonna take a maybe a little flat punch or something and just tap that around a little bit more and get that a little bit closer. And then I'm going to drill the holes. And then I'll get back. She's pretty fit. I'm going to go ahead and start tacking her in and going from there. I'm going to get this corner done first. Okay, I think I said that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 holes in here. Random. Nothing fancy about them. So I'm going to make sure that this area gets cleaned up really good before I start putting anything in place. And I'm going to clean this up really good. All these edges. All the edges. And then I'm going to start zipping her in. Skills. We won't say nothing about my welding skills. But I still got to go underneath and tack up them 5 holes. I just remembered that. But what I was doing was I take this nice flat punch here and I'll tap this on this and kind of roll that edge over on the top. And then once I weld that in, I mean, it's as solid as the floor. It ain't going nowhere. I'll go ahead and finish welding that up. Right now I gotta look at my wife's car though. She just come home from work so I can look at it. But that's it for now. Then I'll be starting on this creative piece. But I gotta get the body mount bolt out first. That's the whole reason for wanting to start on tearing the interior apart so I can get to that body bolt and get my new body mount. There we go, guys. I'm one heck of a grinder. Not much of a welder, but if If you grind enough of it off, it looks good, right? It's in there. It sure beats license plates and rivets, or street signs and rivets. All right, quick shot of underneath. This came out. I'm happy with it. I still got to weld in those holes earlier that I drilled. But once this gets cleaned up, look how nice that looks. I mean, well, some people ain't gonna think it's all that nice, but I do. I mean, I gotta clean up the welds down here. I'm gonna grind them, but it fit right on that seam right there real nice, so that helps. But I'm gonna grind all this stuff down here real nice. But it's gonna look good, guys. I mean, there's seamed panels like everywhere under here. So this, by the time I clean this up, grind it down some, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna pour 15 or undercoat it. My wife's over there having a breathing issue because apparently somebody around here had ice cream and it gives them really bad gas, and she's not very happy. Burned through a couple spots, but you know, well, I should have showed you my grinding skills rather than my welding skills down here. So I'm gonna work on this. I gotta go to work tomorrow. Damn work's ruining all my plans. So that's alright though, I guess. So I'm gonna hammer this down just a little bit with my eyes closed because all the rust that falls down every time I hit it. So, but that's what it looks like underneath here, and I think it looks, I think it looks decent. You know, by the time I get all this cleaned up and painted, I got to figure out what I'm going to do, if I'm going to use pour 15 or not. And then I got to get to these bolts underneath here. So I got this one finally, and I already had that one. I got to get these little fellers right there. They're not going to unthread anymore. So I'm going to have to get under here and, you know, I'm probably going to try it from the inside. I think I'm going to try grinding the heads off and pushing them through rather than trying to lay on my back underneath here with the rust and the fighting this and that and the sparks flying everywhere. But this is what I got to figure out here. I picked a lot of this off down here, and you know, I'm putting a 1-inch body lift in it so it's easier to get in here with a pressure washer and stuff and clean all this up. And then I got a 4-inch suspension lift coming. So underneath here I want to be able to pressure wash out really good. But you know, some places might say that this rust is absolutely horrible, but for around here, I mean, this really isn't that bad. For a 1988, there's 2005 trucks that are folded in half already. So, once I could get that bolt and the match to it on the other side over there, maybe, and then the match to this one on the other side, then I will be installing the 1-inch body lift in the brand new body mounts. And once that's done, then I could put my 35s on. Well, I put 2 of them on. But I got to get this whole thing sitting level before I can finally set the body mount and get everything set up. So, well, that's it for now, guys. Please comment on the video. Tell me what you guys think. Hit a thumbs up and a subscribe, please. Turn on that little bell notification so you guys could get a good notification of when my new videos come out. But I'm gonna go ahead and stop the videos there so you guys don't have to listen to me cussing and breathing heavy and cracking and popping trying to get up off this floor. So talk to you guys later. Do the right thing.